Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is a hammock overnighter on a cloudy, rainy day right next to a beautiful mountain creek stream. And we've got the hammock set up. These bugs are absolutely insane still. If you guys could see the swarm around my head. So with everything set up, I'm going to hold off on coffee for a moment, and we're going to get a smoky fire going right away and get these bugs out of here. All right, guys, I've got my cup of hot coffee on the go right now. Fire is burning beautifully right now. Getting rid of all these bugs, helping dry up some of the stuff, keeping me a little bit warm because it is actually rather damp and chilly out today. So I chose to come to this creek for two reasons. One, it's beautiful. You can't beat it. Fresh water, beautiful sound, really, really nice location. And two, I actually started my filming day today on my other channel out fishing. So today I actually have a fresh trout that I caught probably about 2.5 hours ago. I had it in the truck in the refrigerator for a good 2 hours, stuffed it in some clothing. I've got it in my backpack right now, all cleaned and ready to go. Fresh, beautiful trout. If you're interested in that type of content, the link is down in the description to my other channel. It's Outdoor Adventures. All kinds of behind the scenes, catch and cooks, fishing, all kinds of crazy things that I get up to are on that channel. Head on over there. But today, we're gonna be cooking that fish on an open fire right next to a beautiful creek. So, it is much later in the day than usual. It's actually only about 2 hours from now till approximate sunset. So nightfall will be here in about 2.5, 3 hours. Loads of firewood in the area. Got a great hot coffee on the go right now. So let's kick back and enjoy a little bit of this before we gather up a little bit more wood and then get started on supper. Alright guys, cutting up a little bit of hardwood here. I've got the fire smoldering and smoking away here. It has not gone out. That's actually by design. I want it to smoke a lot. It's doing a really great job at getting all of these bugs away. Now I know a lot of people are going to say, Jeremy, you should get yourself a thermocell. They work really well. Well, smoke actually works better. To prove that, I've actually had a thermocell out the entire time I've been here. I've just been hiding it behind my backpack to prove my point. These do not really work that great out in the woods. Okay, this is a full butane, a brand new cartridge. It is currently smoking. I had this behind my backpack way before I even lit the fire, smoking this whole area, and it did absolutely nothing. So if you're at a picnic and you put it on a picnic table or maybe in your backyard where those bugs are at a lower concentration level, it may help. I don't know. I've never tried. But out in the woods, these bugs just don't care. You need smoke. You need a lot of it. Bug spray out here won't do anything. It'll only slow them down for a minute and then they're right back at it. So the thermocell is going. I'm going to let it keep going because in between flame ups like this where the smoke kind of disappears, it may help a little bit, but ideally I don't really think it matters. Just light a fire if you're in the woods if you can without burn restrictions. Today I don't have any burn restrictions, so having the smoke, it's free, it's available, and it's plentiful, and it works very well. The second thing I want to mention is while I'm cutting this wood, and I've mentioned this many times on the channel, I'm not cutting it all the way through on purpose because I want this. I want that as my kindling. And then I've got my round piece to burn. Do that on purpose, you can get two things done at the same time instead of going back and having to split all of your wood. You're actually saving yourself time because you don't have to do another task, but you don't have to cut all the way through. You just simply cut almost all the way through and you end up with some nice pieces of wood and kindling. Very simple. I do this all the time, especially when hot tent camping. This works really well. Also what it does is creates a sharp edge on that wood instead of it being totally round that the flames can actually grab a hold of, and it burns or catches fire a little bit faster. It'll burn fast depending whether it's hardwood or softwood. This is hardwood, so it'll burn a little bit slower. The reason why I'm prepping up the hardwood is because I want to cook my fish over the fire, and it's not really good to cook over softwoods. It's just not very healthy in comparison to nice clean hardwoods. So I'm going to get some of this stuff set aside for cooking, and yeah, I'm just going to keep prepping this stuff up, keep all this kindling stuff possibly for morning or later on this evening when I need to get the fire kicked up a little bit more. It's beautiful, it's dry, readily available. So I'm into this really good solid section of this piece of hardwood now where it's just splintering off really well. So I'm just going to continue cutting this down, and then I think we should be pretty close to cooking some fish. All right guys, so I've got all my firewood prepped up. I feel like I have enough hardwood to get through the night and to cook my food. I certainly don't need it for heat. I am quite wet though, so I am going to need to dry out. The rain has not come in yet, although it is misting very heavily just outside of the forest, so who knows, it might make its way in here. So for supper, I'm going to be cooking 2-part meal. One, the main course is the fish, which has to be cooked over coals. And second is some fresh ramen noodles, which I need to boil some water. So right now I've got the flames. I want to get my pot full of water in the flames, boil up that, and make some ramen. All right guys, just finished up with those ramen noodles. 2 thumbs up on that. Very, very good. First time having that style. I think I'm gonna do it more often. So unfortunately, eating those noodles took some time and I lost my coals. So I gotta build that up again. Now, I've had this fish wrapped in this bag, wrapped up in a sweater and my top quilt inside the hammock. And I'm actually very surprised. It's still somewhat cool to the touch. Now, it's not very warm out, and I would never be able to do this in summer, but it's still fresh. So I'm actually really happy with that. This was a trout that I caught earlier on today. I'm very excited to cook this over the fire. So I've got that in a bag. I've got my grill packed in this bag. I brought a little bit of seasonings. Usually I don't season trout. I just cook it as is. But today, cooking it over the open fire, I figure why not season it up a little bit, do a really slow cook over top of some hot coals, let it do its thing, and just enjoy it as is, peel it right off the bone, eat it fresh right next to a creek. I think that's a pretty good way to enjoy it. But I have to wait for that to cook down to coals again. Basically, what I'm going to do is stack up 2 rounds and prop my grate across it like that. So it's going to be very close to the coals, only about 1.5 inches away, which should cook it really thoroughly and fairly quickly. Get a little bit of smoke in there too for the flavor. So I've got 2 big rounds set aside for that, and I think this is going to be really good. So it's got to wait for this to cook down to coals again, and then we'll be able to get that fish seasoned and on the fire. Boomer, I think he's fascinated by the water. He's just been kind of staring at the water, just sitting there staring, watching things go by. Probably fish, probably sitting there just kind of fantasizing about the fish. I will let you guys know, he does not like fish. I've caught trout, tried to give him some of it twice now. He won't eat it, so he's not into it. But he sure wishes he could play with them, I'll tell you that. So I'm going to let this cook down, and then right back into cooking. All right, I've had this fish smoking underneath of this aluminum foil that I brought with me because I was just going to toss it on the coals. I figured going with the grate was probably a better method. As it's taking a little long to cook and the cold air is whipping through here, I figure, you know what, why not just pinch off the ends to that aluminum foil and press it down like a smoker lid. I have not opened this yet, but I could smell it. It smells incredible, and I can hear it popping a little bit. So that's usually a telltale sign that this is ready. Let's do the reveal and have a look. Oh my. Wow. That looks incredible. Oh, look at the skin just peel right off that smoked fish. Oh, beautiful. Oh wow. Oh wow, I think I found my favorite way to cook trout. That tastes exactly like smoked salmon. As strange as that sounds, this trout literally tastes like smoked salmon. Oh, the smoke on that. Definitely my new favorite way to cook trout. Wow. Oh. And that smoke layer goes right down into the flesh. Oh, this is so good. Alright guys, it's slowly starting to get dark here in the forest. Nightfall is not very far away. Got the campfire burning, really silent hardwood. No snap, no crackle, no pop, no embers flying towards the hammock or the tarp, which is really nice. Nice controlled, steady fire, which is all that I need for today. So I brought the pedal light with me, a saw, rain jacket, hammock, top, quilt, tarp. Fairly basic stuff on this trip. You could probably call this a borderline bushcraft hammock adventure. I have big things planned coming up, so I'm trying to get a lot of these hiking trips delivered to you guys because I'm going to be taking a little bit of an adventure, and I think it's going to be a fun one. I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah, of course we're still going to be doing this stuff as well, but I gotta say, big things are about to come. That campfire is very inviting. This forest, the cloudiness, the green, the lush, the moss, the sound of the river right back there. Everything on this trip is definitely inviting. That smoked trout. I am shocked that I have never tried that before. I actually have the very perfect cooking system to do that. Controlled and repeatable very easily. I'm going to tinker around with that, and the next trout that I catch, I think if I'm doing a truck camping trip, I'll share that with you guys. Absolutely. And if not, you know what? We'll probably go get one at the store and just do it on purpose just to show you guys. But I got a feeling we're going to be hooking into a lot more fish, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I'm going to kick back, relax. That fire's putting off a little bit of smoke. These bugs are getting out of here. I'm going to finish up this drink and do a little bit of a camp tidy up. Make sure everything's squared away before it gets too dark, and then just kick back and enjoy the sights of the fire and the sound of that river. All right, everybody, nightfall is here. The campfire is just about burned out. I'm not going to put any more wood on it just because I'm going to be in the hammock relaxing. I don't need that burning while I'm in here. I have a little bit of firewood extra also, so I'd like to save that for tomorrow morning if I need it. It is starting to rain a little bit. A couple drops up here on the tarp. It's just that really fine mist has been pushing in all day. And I think the drops are starting to collect in the trees and they're starting to fall. So I don't know what's going to happen overnight. It may rain, it may not. Come on. But it is time to get in the hammock. I've got to get these pants dried off for a minute before I do get in. So I got to kneel down by the coals just for a moment, just to get them a little bit drier than they are. My top quilt's in here, which is going to be super comfortable. Boomer always heads right for the foot end as soon as I get in there. Right for the foot end. And I think I'm going to leave the tarp open all night in this configuration. I'm not going to bother closing it. I really don't need to. I'm pretty sheltered in the woods. If it does rain, it's not going to come in. So I've got my backpack down at the feet. I've got my rain jacket draped over top like a tarp. So if anything does happen in that aspect, that stuff will stay dry. And it's basically time to turn in for the evening, guys. So I'm just going to kick my shoes off after I dry out my knees a little bit by the coals of the fire. Do one more sweep of the area, make sure everything is packed up and where I need it to be. And then it's going to be lights out, in the hammock, probably watch a movie on my phone, and then I'm out and listen to that river all night long. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful, very, very cloudy and buggy morning today. So up early? No. I slept in, had a very, very, very nice sleep last night in the rain. As you guys can see, the tarp is soaked. Big old puddle up there needs to come down. And yeah, the sound of that creek, the rain, beautiful, absolutely incredible. A little bit of a sway in the hammock back and forth, rocking it to sleep. And waking up this morning, all fog out here when I woke up. Of course, I rolled back over and fell back asleep until finally waking up an hour and a half later. So a little bit of a late start. Hot coffee on the go though. Got some smoke billowing to get rid of these flies, which I don't really think is going to make a difference today. And yeah, all in all, everything went really well. So gonna be a short morning today. I'm basically gonna finish up my coffee, douse that fire out, and pack everything up and get out of here. I do have other plans today to hit another trail and do another video. So yeah, a little bit of a woods experience from morning to tomorrow to yesterday to today. I'm still living yesterday realistically because I'm still in a video. So yesterday hasn't ended yet for me until I wrap this video up, clean up, and then I could start my today, which is really hard for maybe some people to understand. But yeah, sometimes I'm about a week behind mentally because I'm still catching up. But I enjoy every minute of it, and this is why I do it, to get out here, the sights and sounds. And yeah, hopefully these bugs will get out of here though. Right now it's still springtime, they're still hatching, so they are ferocious. But I'm basically going to wrap it up here, guys. I had a beautiful evening. That trout smoked over the fire was incredible. I highly recommend that. And well, I'm going to be chasing some more trout today once this video is finished. So cheers, guys. Finish up this coffee and clean up, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.